Okay, here it is. So this is me, this is little Victor at 18 years old. I was an EMT and I wanted to be a firefighter. Today I'm an engineer and I've been in the structural engineering industry for the last 6 years. So what happened? Hey you guys, so in this video I want to talk to you about how you can pick the right career. It led me to structural engineering. Now I'm super happy and fulfilled with my work. First, I want to tell you why I wanted to become a firefighter. For this, we have to go back to when I was in 8th grade. I was in my history class. I remember my teacher was at the front writing on the projector. When I start hearing some weird, just like rustling sounds, a kid that was sitting 2 seats in front of me, he was having a seizure. This kid was convulsing in his chair. Eventually the firefighters came, they took him to the hospital, and the kid was fine. But I do remember having this like weird feeling inside me of just like not knowing what to do. Little 8th grade Victor, he was sitting there, the kid was having a seizure, and I just didn't know what to do. Now when I saw the firefighters come in, they were professional, they were composed, they were super buff, they took complete control of the situation. I knew at that moment, that's what I wanted to do with my life. Now looking back, it wasn't the right choice, but I'm not gonna sit here and blame little Victor for trying to follow his dream. Alright, so I really believe that you can pick the right career if you just consider 2 simple things. Your natural ability, so how good you are at something, and impact, so what kind of impact you want to see your work having. I think if you consider those 2 things, that's going to lead you to an enjoyable and sustainable career. So let's talk about natural ability. Now everybody has something that they're good at. Find out what that is and find careers that use those skills. For example, you like to read. Now you're gonna have a natural advantage at becoming a lawyer. It's gonna be easier for you to read those long, tedious legal documents than somebody who doesn't like to read. Now they can get through it, but it's gonna be much harder for them. So really, it's not about liking the difficult task, it's more about how easily you can handle going through it over and over again without burnout. That's the reason why you're gonna have a natural advantage at becoming a lawyer. So find out what you're good at and frickin' use it. Frickin' use it. Use it. So I found my natural ability in college, and that's what led me to structural engineering. I remember that I enjoyed complex physics and materials problems a lot more than some of my peers. And I think a good indicator for when you enjoy something is curiosity. When you're curious about a subject, you tend to surround yourself with it, you do research, and that improves your development. So there's a little bit of a compounding effect there. With me, I was always curious about how different variables would impact different systems. I know that's a broad statement, but if we look at structural engineering, a building is basically a system of components, materials, connections, utility, geometry, lateral system, vertical, we can go down a rabbit hole. But the gist of it is that it fit with me. Now on the opposite side of the spectrum, I hated chemistry, I hated environmental sciences. I think I hated it because it never really clicked with me. I remember some of my friends had a much easier time in those classes than I did. Let's get some coffee. So that's natural ability. Now let's talk a little more about impact. I think you and I can agree that working at some places is going to have more impact than working at others. So the question becomes, how do you measure impact? The way I like to look at it is what problems I think are the most pressing. So you can see it's going to be very subjective. It's going to be different from person to person. Now EMTs and firefighters, they work on the emergency public safety problem. Without them, societies would have a lot more pain and suffering, and it would not be pretty. So they do a lot of good for a lot of people. It's a noble job, and we're super, super lucky to have them. I chose to work on the infrastructure problem. Now the problem is we need buildings and infrastructure to keep society functioning. As the population increases, we're gonna need more office buildings, more schools, fire stations, libraries, Chipotles, etc., etc., etc. And as time goes on, we're also gonna have to fix and maintain the existing buildings to keep them safe. So I get to use my engineering skills and work alongside architects and other engineers and city officials to try to tackle these problems. And honestly, I really enjoy it. That's why I switched from my dream of being a firefighter to now structural engineering, because I feel like my natural ability and my personality really complement the structural engineering work, and I find it very rewarding too. So I can see myself doing this for a very, very long time. Quick side note here, every time I see that picture of me as an EMT, it makes me realize how crazy it is to expect, a 17 or 18-year-old to know exactly what they want to do for the rest of their lives. If you're at the end of high school, give it some real thought, but just know that it's not the end of the world if you don't get it right on the first try. Anyways, thanks for watching. My name is Victor Barranco. I am new here, so welcome to my YouTube channel. I hope this can be a place for structural engineering content, for career advice, and maybe I can sprinkle some stuff about health and fitness. Whatever I do, I'm glad you're here. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.